Hello, welcome to this week's My Big Fat Video blog. I have had a crazy week. It's been nuts. Things have just been so busy, but finally my brain is starting to get into the right space it needs to be in, so that's good. I wanted to chat today. So first off, it seems like the past several ones of these, it has just been nothing but really bad things. I mean, there's a few of them that were fun, but it's nothing but just really bad things about what's going on around the world. And some of you that watch this video may participate on a website called Grommer, which is a, gainer, encourager, fat fetish website. I've been part of that website for about, I want to say about 10 years. I actually was part of it from very go live. It was made, I joined up, and I've been there ever since. I did have an original profile, and I deleted it due to just personal reasons, but now I'm all good, to join and just be part of the community, because during that time I just had some other stuff going on in my life. And so today, the community exploded and lots of people are upset. And originally I wasn't going to do this video because I was enforcing your thoughts, or I guess enforcing is the wrong word, stating your thoughts on something that's this isn't a real good idea, because it's kind of one of those things where if you don't think really good about something, or you don't think it's a good idea or whatever, you really shouldn't say anything, because then people's feelings get hurt and yada yada yada. But I think that it is probably a good time, at least from my perspective and who I am, to say something about this. And I really am okay, so the whole thing, so basically I'll explain what exactly happened today and my feelings on it. So as you know, there are a lot of people within both the straight and gay communities that use things like Patreon and OnlyFans and those types of websites to get money to do pictures and videos and all that stuff. And my own personal belief, so this is just me, Mark, talking, it isn't anything else. My own personal belief on this is that I don't think it's a great way to get money, flat out. I'm old school though, so I'm 36, I'm old school, and I'm really from the thought that you should try to get a stable job as much as you can, be self-sufficient by yourself, and do the best that you can to be an active, cash-making, contributing member of society. That is just how I was raised. That is just what I believe in. That is my own personal drive and ethics behind that. That is really what that comes down to. But there are a lot of people that struggle with, keeping work, obtaining work. They're on disability. They've got all these other things going on. So I get Patreon. I get OnlyFans. And I honestly am of the thought that if you are in a position where you are struggling to make it through life, for a little bit of period of time, and you just need a little bit of help, I think it's an okay thing to do for a short period of time. I actually think it's okay if you're providing a service, and the service that you're providing is actually doing something with the money that you're getting. So for example, if you're running a Patreon and you're getting money to gain, then you're actually gaining from that money. Then the people that are giving you that money, that's something that they obviously want you to do, and you're actually doing it with it. I think that that's okay. I think that that's okay. It's something that I personally, on my level as a person, and I'm not saying my level's higher than anybody else's level, what I'm saying on my level is I don't think it's a really good way to live. Like, I think that you're putting yourself up for a lot of, I mean, unless you get a Patreon that gives you millions of dollars or gives you like $100,000 a year, you probably aren't buying health insurance with that. You probably aren't, if you live in the US, you probably aren't, paying for your apartments or whatever. There's probably a lot of things that you're not able to do because that money is really small. So I'm always one of those people that's like, okay, instead of, getting into a route where it feels like, oh, you must do this, like, what could we do to help you get something that would get you to a point that's more stable? And I think the thing with me is that gaining and being a big guy, it is so, like, utterly realistic to me. Like, for me, I actually am of the mindset where, like, if I'm going to be a really big person, like, all of the things in my life have to kind of work around that in a way in order for that to really work. Otherwise, I either have to make a change here to make that work, or I have to go ahead and find another way to make something else work. There's not really a, in between of that for me. Now, that being said, I'm not like all or nothing. There are some things that I do have fantasy about, but mostly it's just me being a really big guy and trying to live practically the best that I can throughout life, and I feel like having a stable position or a stable type of employment is part of that because you need to have that. Now, I realize people are in different situations, right? Like, people, have disabilities and whatnot, and they're not able to really make that money, and, they're, in that position. But I think if you're working and you use this as a supplement to your income somehow, then maybe that's not such a huge deal after all. So, all that to be said, that long winded ass explanation, I'm not exactly against Patreon. I'm not exactly 100% against OnlyFans. I just don't think it should be used as your sole resource of income because it's not something that's reliable. That's really what it comes down to. So that is my own personal opinion about OnlyFans and Patreon. Now, I have been a part of this community for a really long time. And there are some people that are like, it's not really a community anymore. And I would say that that's kind of the case. But also, the community was kind of on the downswing in certain ways because of things like paywalls. I guess the problem is, and I mean, I think this is with every community, town, city, or whatever, or village, the bigger your population gets, not, body wise, but like the bigger, life get, like people in a community get, like the population increases, the more disconnectedness people feel. And it becomes less about others and becomes more about yourself. So I get why somebody that's been in the community since 2003, 2004, right around there, might view things differently now than a person just entering the community in 2018. I mean, there was probably like maybe 500 of us that were really active. Like, we all kind of knew each other. We, celebrated each other's gains. Like, it was a very close-knit community. And nowadays, it's very spread out. And that's partially because people are finding out about it, which is great. You want people that you can relate to, and you want people to find this, and you want people to be like, okay, yeah, like, that's the missing link that was in my childhood or whatever that, like, really turned and clicked something on, and, like, that's who I am. But the fact is that even though our community isn't as strong as it was bond-wise before, it's still a community. And I feel that the paywall thing and just general, like spam of, requesting money over and over and over again. I feel like there are gainers that are in the community that use that are very active, that do that. And I don't think it's a matter of marketing yourself in a way that, I don't think marketing yourself purely is bad. Like I don't think that at all. But it's the manner in which you market yourself that is what actually makes the community and yourself work. Like, the thing is if you keep spamming yourself over and over and over again that you want money, there are some people that may not find that attractive, and you might actually disregard people that want to donate to you, or people that want to help you out. So honestly, I think if you're going to do that, the best way to do it is to put it in your profile. Have it there. Say, my Patreon is in my profile, and have it on your profile. If people are interested and they click on your name and they see that there, and they see like, oh, I have a Patreon, donate to me, and that person, like, they like your body type or they like your personality or whatever, they'll go ahead and they more than likely, if they want you to see you gain and you are an active gainer, they will donate to you. Like, if they have the extra money to do so. I'm sure that there's like sugar daddies or whatever that do that, but I just don't think the spamming is a great thing. But I do understand why people would join a Patreon or an OnlyFans. I know that in the past I had a medical situation involving a relative, and I did a GoFundMe for that. I believe that there are certain circumstances in life that warrant the use of these types of services and these types of things. By far. Totally. But I just don't think spamming is the best way to go about it, So, and I know some of you have followed me on Grommer and see my posts, and do I think that the decision that the Grommer people put out was a really good thing? I do. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I think it was a good thing. I think it was a good thing because it was getting really out of control. And there's Twitter for that, and Tumblr for that, if you're wanting to advertise too. But I really thought that it was getting out of control in a closed, small, relatively smallish, when you consider Facebook, community that just, constant stuff in the newsfeed. It actually like persuaded me to like not even review the newsfeed, like the global newsfeed. I don't even look at that anymore. I just look at my newsfeed. And if anybody was spamming sales for things, I was just blocking them, I mean, I wish anybody luck in their endeavors, but I think that there's things in life that there's good ways to go about them with getting your message across and doing it in a way that's tactful. And then there's ways that aren't so tactful. And I really feel that the ways that things were being done weren't so tactful, so that's just my personal opinion on it. I know that, many of you, again, aren't part of this community that are watching this. And I'm sorry this video was kind of boring. I may actually do another one this week just because this was more of something separate. But yeah, it's just my thoughts on it. And it doesn't mean I'm like discriminating against people or whatever. I'm just really tired of the solicitation. I'm really tired of it. I've had to block a few people, and, I think that there's a time and place for everything, And I mean, I want to end this video on a good note. I think that there are a lot of people that think that they're not employable. They think that they're not somebody that can achieve something in life. And I'm not a success story by any means. But through my life and my work and my efforts and everything, I have gotten myself to a point where right now, as of this today, I'm doing okay financially. I'm doing okay. And so I think shooting yourself in the foot and saying, like, just because I'm fat and just because I have a hip issue or a knee issue or, whatever, that I'm not employable, that I have to go down a route where I can't get money from a stable form of mean. If you have an ability or a willingness in your heart to, and this is going to sound sappy, but if you have a willingness in your heart to do the best thing and do what's right and genuinely care about your work, even though how hard it gets and even though you may never get hired as far as like immediately, it still sets you up in a way where you can start to think about being successful in that drive. So I guess long story short behind this on that topic is don't give up hope, because people will employ you. There's like tons of fat people that are working, and they all have really good jobs, and they all do the best that they can. And yes, there are those that aren't, but that's how it is, unfortunately. But that you can be one of those that can be successful, if you just do what you can, and don't give up hope. That's the best thing that I can offer, is absolutely don't give up hope. So, yeah. But, okay, well, that's it for this video. Again, this video is probably going to piss a few people off. I have opinions. I have thoughts. This is my blog. I can share those thoughts. Again, it's just about the delivery of the message. So, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. And like I said, I'm going to do something a little bit fun in the next video, because I know this one was kind of serious. So, all right. Have a great week or a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.